laugh. It's harder to fake laughing than it is to fake crying.
Yeah.
Because if you just do it for a minute, you'll know. And we had to do this scene where I'm taking her to the opera and she's bored out of her mind, and we end up cracking up and we laugh so hard that people around us are going shh, and we end up we can't stop, so we have to leave. So we had to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh.
And we laughed hard.
I know. She said, call it, call it.
The thing that would make me laugh the most.
If I meet her, I'll ask her about that.
The thing that would make me laugh the most is when Stephen would do his impression of Jake Cutter as a gay man. Which I would beg him to do for outtakes. For dailies.
I could imagine. Now the camera's on. Come on, Kevin Klein just did in and out. You know that they wanted the.
If you do your impression of Jack,
they wanted me to. They wanted me to.
You just want me on all fours.
Tasteless, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
I wasn't available.
They want what?
They wanted me for the Tom Selleck part in and out.
Did they really?
Have you seen it?
I'm not available.
Have you seen it?
No.
I saw it yesterday. Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
It's
I was laughing.
I read the
was
script
laughing
and I
so
thought,
hard.
this is the first really great movie part
Yeah.
that I've ever been in a position to play in like 15 years, and I'm not.
And you would have been perfect.
I don't know, you've done a lot of good stuff. You've done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, you have. You're Jake.
Oh, I can't do it. I don't mean to be coy. It's
terrible.
Coy.
Maybe
Are you
later.
coy?
Oh, you already been politically incorrect once today.
What?
Maybe later. Maybe when I know you all.
I know. But just think, if you had done it, the ratings in San Francisco alone had instant renewal.
We'd be running lines. We'd be running lines
have
before the
something,
scene,
yeah.
and if he would do it as a gay Jake Cutter, I would be laughing.
Really screamingly.
So, really screamingly gay.
Cliche. All the bad
Everything.
cliches.
Yes, all the bad cliches.
What I want to know is, what are the names of the guys on the St. Louis ball club?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you should ask.
Yeah.
Well, we got who's on first, one's on second, I don't know who's on third.
No, that's exactly what I want to know. Who's on first?
That's what I'm telling you.
Well, so who's on first?
That's right.
What's the guy's name on first base?
Who?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Who?
That's right.
I wish we could.
Wow.
It literally goes on for 7 minutes.
I can find that.
I should find it and get copies made. That would be great.
Well,
we knew we could do it for about a year afterwards, and we lost it. It's like
so when the
it's
first
like
baseman, the funniest things to me. So when the first baseman picks up his check, who gets it?
Well,
he says yes, every penny of it.
And why not? The man deserves it. You know that routine made it to the air. They wrote that routine, and they did it for their producer, and the producer didn't get it. Of those old guys. Didn't think it was funny, and said it'll never go over. So they purposely the next week they didn't. It was cut from the show, and they raced through the scripted script to leave themselves 4 minutes or 5 minutes at the end to do an abbreviated version of it, and they just went into it live on the air. They couldn't be cut off. And the next day, apparently, all over the United States, people were doing it. So first, it was an overnight sensation.
Very funny.
Yeah, I have an outtake, or I have to find. I just realized of you and Caitlin, and one of the only ad-libs you did, where Don Belisario called me up because they could not get them to stop laughing, and it had to do, and I'm just remember, it had to do with no, it had to do. It was, I guess, in the this one, the last one I did, this in Child of Thunder, when you had a mask, you could put.
Yes, that would be something
I wrote it as the serious thing was ever said.
you would do.
She opens up the door and this thing is, and she starts going, ah! And it's actually some of it's, and I said, we got to keep some of it's actually in the thing, and he goes, hello. It was this big thing that she's going through.
I was high on drugs in that
Yes, that's
show.
right, yes.
By character, not
Yes,
me.
right. Right, but they were hysterically drunk, and the director called me to said, Jim Fargo. He said, I can't do a thing with these two.
He complained about it?
Yes. Yes, they called up and said, and you know, and Don said, hi guy, you better get down on the set because there's something going on down there. So I went down on the set and just
When he does when he's serious.
Yeah, that's right. You're in trouble.
Was Jim mad at us?
What?
Was Jim mad at us?
No, he was laughing too.
Oh, he was laughing too.
He was
Oh, thank
direct-
God.
Everyone was laughing, but they couldn't do the scene. It's a scene in your bedroom. And he opens the door,
Right.
and probably there you see it, he opens the
swinging
door,
door.
and he's got this thing with this, and he asks, and he's going, woo, 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 and
We were so tired by the season of Gold Monkey. About the first 5 episodes went way over schedule. We were hoping to shoot them in 8 days, and I think the first one we shot in 8 days was about the 6th episode.
Well, Harvey's the one who was brought in because they called me. We did the
show
one.
could not be done on
The
schedule.
one with Baxter when Don pulled me off the Magnum to go on the show was because of that. And then I did this one which was like we call a shit in the bottle show. That was the one with the nun. Because I said what we'll do is I'll do virtually so many scenes inside the plane that you can shoot all this dialogue. In fact, you're in it, and everyone's in it, and every one of the characters in this plane, you can shoot hordes of dialogue and stuff.
Yes.
And we were able to shoot. We shot on a Saturday, and we were back on schedule.
No, I remember that I met Stephanie Zimbalist a couple of years later, and they had been doing Remington Steele, and she said, "Oh my God, you were on that show? You guys were famous. You were the guys that worked more hours than any other show. We worked 8 hours. There was a few months there where we worked 8 hours. Then we took lunch."
Yeah.
And then we would work 4 to 5 more hours. Do you remember that schedule? And we were working Saturdays too.
Working Saturdays. That was.
Stephen almost died.
Oh,
Well, the way those were written too was they were. I think I put that on the website.
18-hour days.
Came up with a story on Monday, and wrote it Tuesday. Wrote Acts 1 and 2. I wrote Acts 2 and 3 on Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday Acts 1 and 2, and get it all. You have 2 days to write the whole script, and then we would be in. And then while you're writing it, all the departments were calling me. Yeah, what kind of sets, what kind of, and I'd have to make stuff up, and that's one reason we had the volcano, which is funny. That was
You
my
made
joke
that up?
to Don Dare. Yeah, I made it up at the point. I said, well, Don, I'm going to build a volcano.
And he took you seriously?
And he took me seriously. Well, because what had happened is, because I had discovered Bill Punky was our art director, and I had discovered I was watching some night, and I was really tired, and I thought I was hallucinating, and I think if you read the website, the story's on there. And I looked up and I saw the Gold Monkey set, but I saw Frank Sinatra. And I said, oh, I've lost it. I can't have to go, to the shrink.